Good afternoon. This is the Orderflows trade review for Monday, March 14, 2016. My name is Michael Valtos. I'm the founder of Orderflows.com. First, a brief disclaimer. This presentation is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered a solicitation to buy or sell a futures contract or make any other type of investment decision. Futures trading contains substantial risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so this morning in the E-mini S&Ps, I was looking at a 5-range chart. The market was very quiet. It was in a very tight range. For most of the morning, we were looking at less than a 10-point range. And just after 9 o'clock, we came into the low. There was a divergence. And what I was looking for is some sort of ratio to form either in the divergence bar or in the bar after. And I got, in the bar afterward, I got a ratio. I've seen the ratio of 30. Earlier here at 8:56 there was a divergence, but there was no confirmation in the next bar. So it happened here between 9:01 and 9:03. I got long at 03 3/4, 20:03 spot 75, and I was looking to get out two points out of it. Today it was a very tight range, so for me to try and get more out of it, I think was going to be a stretch. And initially, the market started moving in my favor. We got up to within one tick. We came up to 20.05 and a half, and then started selling off. And here I am trying to get out at 5 3/4. We traded back down to 03 and a half, so we got one tick against me. I took one tick of heat on this trade. Well, actually, when I got in, it traded down to 03 and a half. It was 03 and a quarter, 03 and a half offer before turning back up and and just being in my favor the rest of the way for the most part. I said we traded down to 03 and a half before finally popping back up. So I didn't get worried when I see this bar here with a negative delta of 635. I said, we're at the low. There might be another sort of rush wave of selling coming in, and it was here. But, it was met with some decent buying in here, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bid, 868 just below it, and we popped right back up. So, so if we're moving away from the low, I want to see, some signs. I want to see positive delta building up, which is what you're seeing in here. This bar with the minus 635 delta, fair enough. You're going to get another push sooner or later, especially being near the low. And but the buying reappeared, and took the trade up to my take profit level. Okay, so this next trade I'm about to show you, it wasn't actually a trade. It was a trade that I wanted to take, but the market didn't give me the entry that I was hoping for. This is in the bonds. This is on a 4-range chart. We are working our way up. We hit a high. We got a divergence. We got a ratio of 81, so it's indicating a small print up here near the high, and we're starting to come off. Then in this next bar, I see the strong negative delta forming. Ideally, I would have liked to get a pullback up to around this 26 level where the point of control was in this bar, or 25. But we only managed up to 24 or 23 even. So it just wasn't giving me the opportunity to get in. I didn't want to just go in. Market, when I was looking at it, market was 21, 22, so I'd be getting short at 21. I did think the market did have a capacity to move down to, the 8, 9, 10 level, which is this area here on the volume profile. I mean, it took a while to get there, though, but, I don't want to just go in and sell at the market. I want to get a better entry whenever possible, so if I could save, 3 or 4 ticks, hey, that's money in my pocket. So, originally I put it in at 25. I backed up to 26. It just wasn't happening. When we started trading down below 20, I canceled my offer. Because at this point, I don't want the market to rally back up and keep going up. I said we put in a move already. For me to expect the market to come back up and then sell off, is a bit of a stretch. Eventually, we came back up to the 24 level, so it's still, not at my 25 or 26 level. And then we finally sold down to the 12 level before turning around. I threw that in there. It's not a trade that I took. Just because I do want to get better entries rather than just taking entries at the market. If I could sort of get a better entry, 4 ticks in the bonds, is a bit of money when you're trading 5 lots. So especially if I'm trying to make 6 ticks, 6 or 7 ticks, if I could add an extra 4 to it, then it's happy days. So thank you for watching today's trade recap. To learn more about trading with Orderflow and the software used in this video, be sure to visit my website, www.orderflows.com. Thank you.